So, a macroeconomy is a big, complex thing. We saw in the iPencil video that there's a lot of interconnected parts. It's very, very complicated, even if we can understand the basic logic pretty simply, right? People are trying to improve their lives, they work together, and we get this whole thing we call the economy. That's simple enough, but the actual specifics, the supply chains that move trees on the Pacific Northwest across the country in the form of toilet paper, that stuff is a big, complicated mess, right? It's not a simple thing to understand, but we still want to try to find aspects of the macroeconomy that we can fit into our heads so that we can make judgments about how to plan for our futures. So it's like measuring your own body's health in some ways. We've got something like, say, your blood pressure is helpful to know for an experienced doctor, but it doesn't fundamentally say if you're healthy or not. It just says if your blood pressure is healthy or not. In macroeconomics, we're going to deal with three big measures of the health of an economy: gross domestic product, inflation, and of course the other one's dropping out of my head right now, inflation and unemployment. So these three things are going to give us sort of the three starting places for our analysis. We're going to look at what each one is, its strengths and weaknesses, but of course the truth is the real world is much more complicated than you can wrap up in just three numbers. So these give you a starting point, but if you're asking questions about how do you protect your bank's billions of dollars in investments, or how do you, as someone trying to plan for your retirement, plan for the next giant global pandemic, understanding these things is going to require digging deeper. This is sort of just the equivalent of a 15-minute checkup with your doctor. They check your weight, they check your blood pressure, they don't pull out the MRI machine. All right, so that's to set the stage. Let me pause and we'll start into gross domestic product next.